Can I be the one to tell you that you can teach an old dog new tricks? And also that just because you're older doesn't mean you're stuck in your ways. There is this process in our brains that is called neuroplasticity. And so what that is, it's the brain's ability to physically reorganize, adapt, or rewrite our neural networks in response to learning, experiences, your environment, or even injury. So what does that mean? In simplest forms, without going into deep detail, neuroplasticity is your ability to create new thoughts, new memories, new skills. Well, how can I do that, Tashana? Well, I'm glad you asked. There are 2 golden rules to keep in mind. One is neurons that fire together, wire together. So when you have repeated thoughts, you do repeated things or repeat skills, you are creating a consistency in your brain, and it's telling your brains, okay, this is something important for me to learn. So it's going to kind of stick. You're creating those specific neural pathways that makes it easier to learn. The second golden rule is use it or lose it. So you remember you were in Spanish 101 or whatever foreign language class you were in, and you knew the information at that time. You kind of like learned it just to pass the class. But along the years, so long as you don't apply those principles and those rules to your everyday life, your brain naturally lose the skills. So if you're not using it, your brain is literally doing like a detox. It's taking away things that is not being used to create space for things that is currently being used. So there are cases where these connections can be damaged. So for an example, someone who just experienced a stroke may have lost their ability to walk. So through everyday practice and physical therapy, their brain is rewiring itself. It is adapting. It is restructuring itself to make those new connections and result relearning how to walk. I'm glad I was the one who told you that just because you're getting older doesn't mean you're necessarily stuck in your way, and that poor little old dog, he can't in fact learn new tricks. It's through the stimulation of the brain. Ask yourself, what are you doing in your day-to-day life to keep your brain wired, to keep your brain fired up and stimulated to the point where it's creating these pathways and you're inviting learning in. It is possible. You have to be intentional. Think of when you want to do your weight loss journeys, or when you want to break a habit, the 21 days and whatever it is that you intentionally decide that you wanted to do. You can restructure your brain so that where you are relearning old experiences or you are learning new experiences. The power of the brain is wonderful.